workshop number 4. So what today we're going to cover is 5 items you might not have been aware of in Edge. But first, I want to go ahead and run a poll. So Joey, if you could go ahead and place a poll in the box, and let's go ahead and do a poll. And the reason why I want to ask this is to find out, for the training purposes, where you guys are at, if you're on an enterprise account or not. And the difference in an enterprise account, if you're not on one, you're paying your monthly membership fee individually. Enterprise account is for companies with 10 or more LOs on contract, and then they have access to an ECMS account that we have, which builds fee templates. So, okay, all right, I did get a I don't know one. That was good. So, okay, we're almost there. Let's get some voting on. Great. We're almost there. Just go ahead, a couple more votes, and we'll close it out. Okay, so right now it's showing that we have, you go ahead and close that out, Joey. We have 59% of the people saying that they're on the enterprise account, and 18% say no, they're not, they're individual, and then 24 that aren't quite sure. If you're not quite sure, you can always email us at support, and we can let you know if you're on an enterprise account or not. And so what we'll do is go ahead and do the training, and I'll be showing you a couple different items, one for individual as well as the enterprise account. And what I'm going to do now, I want to go ahead and turn on my camera for a little bit. So, yep, there you go. Hi, everyone. I'm Lori. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to cover a couple items. We're going to cover the Start Now button that you'll see to the upper left-hand corner. That will, if clicked on, it will go ahead and send the borrower to a landing page. It could be your own web page or the application page or a start application process on your company's website. So I'll be able to show you how to be able to do that, as well as our widget. So if you take a look at the screen, we also have a widget that also helps with lead captures. I'll be able to show you how you'll be able to create one of these. You could use it as a text or be able to also use it on your web page. So we'll be able to cover those items. And then when we go into Edge, what I'm going to do is we're going to work on items that will speed you through the process of getting through Edge. So with that, we'll be working on copying products, showing you how you can just add a product, add analysis, copy, as well as developing feed templates and items like that. So the other question I was going to ask is how long you've been in the industry, and you got to think about that for a little bit. And the reason why I state that, we've been mentioning how long we've all been in the industry, and I've been in the industry, I'm going on my 32nd year. So I know changing habits are hard. So it's very easy to be able to do a loan quote to a borrower through an email or through an Excel. And through Edge, you get a lot more detail, plus the video messaging, as well as Edge Live, which you learned with WHI on yesterday's call, and then this morning you learned video. And the reason why I turned this video on is to be able to show you the importance of video. So we're going to go into this training, but now you know what I look like, and you'll be able to hear how I speak and be able to follow along. So it's very important to have a video on your report and make sure you put it on each one. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into Edge. Let me turn off this camera, and let's start our process out. So what we're going to do first is look at the Start Now button. So how do you implement that? So if I go into Edge, so if you're on, go ahead and log into your Edge account and go ahead and follow along with me. So once you come into Edge, you have your home screen here. So up at the top, you'll see Settings. You want to go ahead and click on your settings, and you want to be in your contact info screen. And with that, the items you need to have keyed in, actually that's for the widget we're going to talk about, is your cell phone number as well as your branch address over on the right-hand side. I also want to point out, if you're in your account, make sure you have an identifier in front of your license number like I do here. If you just have a number, you need to put an identifier because on your report, it will just go ahead and show a number and no one will know what that number represents. If it's grayed out like mine is, that means you're on an enterprise account and they've locked down those fields. So you can either contact your admin or go ahead and contact us at support and we can help you, and that's support@mortgagecoach.com. So with that Start Now box, you'll see that in this field here, Apply Now Address. And with that, as soon as whatever page you want to land on with that button, may it be your company's start the application process link or to your web page, just go ahead and place it in this area, and then on the right-hand side, press Save. And what that will do, let's go back to my report. Now if I click on that Start Now button, you'll see that it will open into a new web page, and it's just coming to, I went ahead and placed our request for a demo in my Start Now process. But you can see how easily it will be to connect those two pieces together through that Start Now button. So that's the first little tip that we had, and now if we go back to Edge, we'll discuss the widget. So with that widget, again, just like with that Start Now button, it helps provide some of that lead capture, the continuing process. So with the widget, again, make sure your address as well as your cell phone number are in this area. And then when you click on that widget button at the very bottom of the screen, it will open you to a new web page. And if you see, starting up top left, how to create it, these are different items that you would be able to receive. You're going to go ahead and receive the email as an entry. You can also receive a text, so you could go ahead and have that marked. And say you have an assistant or another person or another alternate number to receive that information, you can mark that and place that phone number here. And on the widget, I'm showing my photo, the logo, and my address. So I want all three of those on my widget. In the text aspect, I have my header as my subject line, Get a Personal Edge Report. You have additional area for text, and then you also have that confirmation message as well. So now once you've updated all that information, I'm going to go ahead and press the Update Forms options, and you'll see that it is upper right-hand corner. It just updated for me. And now what I'm going to do is take the very link at the bottom, the mobile link here, and I'm going to copy that. Now let's go to a new web page, and I'm going to paste that link within the browser, and you now be able to see the widget that we've created. So with that, you can keep it as handy on that as a text and be able to forward that to any new business, any new potential leads. They'd be able to fill out their first name, last name, email address, and phone number. And with that data, it will go ahead and populate into your Edge report. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put in Steve Sample, Steve at mortgagecoach.com, and his phone number. And what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and press Submit. And then this will take this data and we'll go ahead and place it into your Edge account. And you'll see they'll get a response back. And this is that response. Thank you, we'll contact you shortly. It has all the information about you, just like a business card. And you'll be able to see, thanks, we'll contact you shortly. If we go back to that page, that's that comment right here. So with that, that's how you would be able to create that widget, be able to have it as a text, be able to always have it handy. You can always provide that to your realtor partner as well. They'd be able to pass that along and be able to capture your leads as well. If you want to be able to paste this to your web page, you can always go ahead and copy, place this code onto your web page, or copy and paste it in an email and forward it to your IT to update your page with that widget. So you have both of the areas as a link as well as being able to place that on your web page. So with that, so we've just covered having a landing page with that Start Now button that we had, as well as developing a widget for you to be able to use. So we've covered those two options so far that you'll be able to have. Hopefully you're aware of that and already using those. Next, what I want to go ahead and cover, and before I move on, I want to go ahead and click on that Help button. And we've all been referring to the Help button as well as our knowledge base in our search engine. So just want to show you, if you type in the word widget, it will go ahead and provide you a video tutorial. Same with the Start Now button, you could go ahead and do it. And there's a short video clip for you to be able to walk through. Also, if you want other people who want to be able to sign up for the call, we have it here. But I want to be able to show you, for those people who asked on the earlier call, Let's go ahead and let's go to the knowledge base. And just one moment. Let's go to home. Access to our coaching calls. That's where I'm going, guys. If we go to our coaching calls here, we are pacing our winter formal calls in here, and we're hosting them in this area. You will have them bundled up, and you're going to receive them as an email afterwards. Right now, we have yesterday's purchase transaction. This is Edge Live and the email and delivery. So those are the three that we've had, and today's 5 tips will be placed right below there. So you'll be able to access those. If you're happen to miss one of those calls, you can go ahead and come into the knowledge base and be able to access those calls you hadn't heard. So now what we want to do is work with developing those templates. And with it, this is where coming into, whoops, let me go ahead and do this. Go into our view all buttons. And what I'm going to do is show you how to be able to use the copy feature. And this is really great because it's going to be able to get you through, especially if you're working with open house flyers, get you through that process a lot quicker. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and demonstrate this through the View All button on the Partner section. Everything I'm doing in the Partner section will also reflect the same way in the client-facing reports. So if we click on the View All button, first you're going to have your search engine. So if you wanted to look for a particular realtor, so say I could see in the background I have one for Amy. I could just type the word Amy, do my search, and this can work with your borrowers, and you'll have any reports that were created for Amy. I'm going to close that back out, click on that View All button one more time, and in this particular case, you can search by first name, last name, friendly name, last updated date, email, property address, and city. So there's quite a lot of fields you could go ahead and search by, but you can also leave them all empty, and all your reports will display. So now with it, you'll see that you'll have each of the contact names for your realtor, and then if you click on the arrows, the gray arrow to the left-hand side, you'll see that you'll have multiple reports under that same realtor. And this is how you'll be able to create one report, upload all that information, the contact information, the images for the realtor as well as their logo, but you don't want to have to do it every single time you create an open house flyer. So this is how you'll be able to do a quick copy. So if I highlight on a particular report that I want to copy, I am going to add analysis. There's 2 items here I want to point out. There's add analysis and copy analysis. And the difference between these two is add analysis will only bring over the contact information. So your property address is empty, your products are empty. But if you do a copy analysis, not only will the contact information carry over, but also your products and items. So this is great if you want multiple copies of an open house flyer. Maybe you're doing different recordings. That's a quick way of doing a copy. Also the same with the TCA if you're in that area to have that full data. But to show you what add analysis will do is I click on that button and wants to make sure I want to add another analysis to Ron Realtor, and I want to go ahead and say yes. And it went ahead and brought over their contact information. And now if I go into the contact info, and of course I picked up a one that I didn't have any information in. So, but all that information will carry over. So just to be able to show you real quick, let's go ahead and let's go to Sally's. Okay, we got some contact. Okay, so if we go into our view all, do our search, and I apologize for that, everyone. I have my Sally Realtor add analysis, and I'm pressing yes. So provide Sally's contact information, as well as her office address and her contact and logo information. But you'll notice there's an exclamation mark on the products, and if I hover my mouse over the products area, I do not have any jump outs of my products because they're empty. They've stripped those off. Same with my property. If I go into my property address, it's empty. So that's what add analysis will do, is only bring over that contact information, the logo, the images, things like that. And always, when you start a new report, always put the friendly name field. And this is actually really good to put on our open house flyer. Put in the street address. And the reason for that is when we're in that search engine, this can identify your open house flyer on what property. and say you're doing a couple different of the same report, maybe different videos on it, maybe this one's for the realtor. And just go ahead and indicate that in that friendly name field. And maybe you have one for the borrower. So that's what that friendly name field will do. And let me advance the screen so I could save that information. Let's go back out to home, go into our view all, go into our search engine, check out Sally, and here's the file I just created. And that was through Ad Analysis, and it's a file that's empty except for the contact information. Really important, that friendly name field. This is why we always tell you you'll be able to see it right here, and that's the reason why. So when you do a copy, and in this particular case, let's go ahead and copy this information again. Actually, we'll use this one. And I'm going to go ahead, instead of use Ad Analysis, I'm going to copy Analysis. I can copy it into the current partner, which will bring all the contact information, all their products over, or a new partner, which maybe I have my product scenarios already created, and I just want a new realtor. I already have an FHA, a conventional fix, and a VA product on there. So if I go ahead and do new partner, I update it for the realtor's information, and then I would update the loan amount, the rates, things like that. So either way, you've got to do it in current partner. So if I press OK, you can see that I have all my products. I have all my contact information here. And I would just need to come in and do any kind of updates that I need. So that's how that copy analysis works. Let's go back to the home page. And that you'll find in the View All button. And now what I want to work on are fee templates and product templates. And this is where that enterprise account comes into play. But first, before we do that, you'll notice that I have Steve's sample. This is the data that we had keyed in through the widget. So that data carries into your Edge account, and now you could go ahead and double-click on that file and be able to work on the report for that particular person. And the reason why I want to go ahead and bring this one up, you'll see that I have no products being jumped out above. I want to show you really quick the importance of having fee and product templates. And what I'm going to do is just doing, this is our winter workshop, the 4th class. That's my friendly name field. Going through, I'm marking purchase new home. My property value is $350. I keep moving on. I want to do a quick report, not doing affordabilities. Let's go ahead and label this as FHA, 3.5%. I do have a product template, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my product template, put in that loan amount, and you'll see that I have it marked yes for FHA, 3.5% down, and my term. So all I have to do is put in my interest rate. As I move to the next field, you'll see that I have my prepaid interest defaulted, my upfront MI defaulted. Going into my closing cost details now, I have fee templates created. So I would go ahead and select the fee template, make any kind of modifications I would need. Once I'm done, I apply it to the loan, done with my fees. I have set defaults, so I have all my monthly costs already defaulted for me, as well as the number of months for reserves and 12 months premium. So with templates, I created that first product rather quickly. So let's create a second product. So I'm going to add another product, and this will be a conventional 5% down. Using my product templates, let's go ahead and put in that loan amount first. Let's use my template, conventional 5% down, 5%. My interest is left empty, so let's go ahead and put in 5.5. My term is defaulted. In this template, you'll see that I actually have some fees already filled in, and they're grayed out. I tied a product template to a fee template. So this way, it even makes it quicker for you to get through Edge. So otherwise, you can always come up to the closing cost details, make any kind of modification, possibly bring down a different template if you want to, apply it to the loan, move on. My monthly costs are there. I go into my analysis. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 60 and 15. And now let's look at the report. I mean, that's how quick it is, and that's what I want to show you now is how to develop those templates. So if I don't have my FHA on here. But that is how quickly you'll be able to create that product. So with it, let's go ahead now and show you how to be able to create a product template. So there's a couple ways of doing it. You can either start out in Edge first and develop a fee template through Edge, or let's go over to our settings. If you click on settings, we have two tabs. We have a fee template tab as well as our product template tab. In our fee templates, you can see that you have a list of fee, I happen to have in my account, list of fee templates. So this is one thing on an enterprise account. They might have, your administrator might have developed fee templates, but you won't see them in this area here. You'll only see them when you're working on the report and using that drop down. But a quick way just to show you how to create a fee template, you'll see at the lower left, there's a green button, New. If I click on New, I want to go ahead and place the name of my template. This is Winter Workshop 4. And you can develop templates on the state you originate in. So you'll be able to go ahead and select the state if you originate in multiple ones, so you could distinguish which template to be able to pull. And then once I press OK, you can see how that template was just built. So that's the starting process. I have two green buttons here, Add Fee, which then you can identify your fee through the drop down. So if I want appraisal fee, say it's $475. Maybe I want a processing fee, so I type the letter P and put that dollar amount in. And you can continue developing the fee template. And the reason why I want to, or not the reason, what I want to suggest is the best way to start your fee templates is by printing a fee worksheet from your LOS. And that's the best way to do it. It provides your descriptions, your dollar amounts, and if the fee is an APR fee or not. So that's the best way to be able to start. You would have it next to you and just start building your line items. We also have, if you cannot find your description in the drop-down, we do have a way where you can add a custom fee. So if I put in custom fee here, I have a field for percentage. I can have that percentage go off the loan amount or property value sales price. So if you're developing these templates, you can also develop if you have stamp taxes or something that needs a percentage, and based off either the loan amount or the sales price, you could determine that in this area in your custom fee. Also, if it's an APR, you could go ahead and indicate so here. Once you have created that custom fee, it will always be in your drop-down. So you can use it for any future templates. Even when you're creating the report, you can use that fee as well. So moving on with a fee template, you just go ahead and build through it. And again, we do have a video tutorial in the help that will slow down and go through this process for you a little bit more slower. I also want to point out, say you're developing multiple templates. I just created my conventional, now it's time for FHA. You don't want to redo the whole work again. You want to use the copy feature. And down at the lower left is the Save As button. And if I click as Save As button, that's actually my copy button. So what I could do is put it Winter Workshop 4, and I'm going to label this one FHA. Once I press OK, you'll see now I have the two templates, and say this appraisal fee was $500. So I go ahead and make any kind of necessary adjustments to my fees, adding fees, maybe subtracting fees out. Either way you can go, you could just modify that template that you copied from. So those are the quick ways to be able to build the fee templates. And for those of you who are on an enterprise account, if you wait just a few minutes, we're going to go into the Clients tab and be able to show you how to be able to take the fee templates that are there and develop those into templates. So be able to customize it for your branch. So with that, we've gone through new. If you need to delete a template, you could go ahead, highlight it, press delete. It will remove it from your list. Also, copy, we have the fee button in the lower left-hand corner. And what this does is just allow you to be able to, if you made a mistake on the spelling of that custom fee, you could go ahead and come in here, identify that fee, make your update, and then it will also update that template that it was being used from, as well as your drop-down list. So you have that option there to make any kind of custom edits for the custom fee. You can use the Save As button as a copy to make multiple templates, as well as deleting. So that's how you start on developing your fee templates. And next, what I want to do is point out product templates. And in product templates, you see I have a couple here. These are actually quite simple to make. Let's go ahead and go into an FHA. You just put the title. This will be in your drop-down. What's the title of your template? If it's an FHA, make sure you mark it FHA, whatever down payment, whatever you quote as your prepaid interest, if it's 15 or 30 days, place in the term. If it's an ARM loan, you do want to change it to ARM, and then fill out the ARM details in this area here. And then moving down, the next items I like to be able to use in my template are the monthly costs, because this way I don't have to do any. Okay. Okay, great. Sorry, just one moment, everyone. I'm answering some questions. Dennis mentioned he created 2 templates yesterday and they weren't showing. He logged out, logged back in, and they were there. Sometimes there's a cache issue and it's storing the old data. So if that is the case, you might have it again. Either do what you did or just clear the cache in your browser, and that would work too. Jackie was mentioning that she has never seen an edge report as it would be seen as a bar or realtor. You know, it's great, Jackie. Yesterday's call, the second call, noon call, we did talk about how to deliver a report and how to be able to use Edge Live. So that would be a great place for you to start. I'll show you a little bit at the end how you'll be able to go ahead and see that video and a couple other places that would be able to help. So we'll get to that in a moment. And again, anyone, if you have any questions, please place them in the question area and we'll go ahead and get those addressed for you. So now back to our monthly cost in our template. So you want to be able to place in your estimates for your hazard or your property taxes. I'm in California, and this is what we go ahead and place as our estimate. If you want to place an estimate as a dollar amount, you could do that. You could go ahead and place in $100 if that's what you want for your estimate. You could go ahead and then that will be what shows on the report. So I'm going to go ahead, press that percent sign, and put in my percentage back in. It's important that you create these FHA templates because it's great so you don't have to think about mortgage insurance. So I went ahead and put in my 1.35% factor, 360 for my MI cutoff month, taking my MI for the life of the loan, and calc MI on balance. So be able to have that to get the declining FHA balance. And if you need more information on different types of templates, what you think is good, conventional fixed, that way you get all your monthly costs in there. FHA, so you have your monthly costs as well as your MI defaulted. VA, so you'll be able to have your monthly costs as well as your funding fee, upfront fees. So there's a lot of different types of templates that you'll be able to use. So with that, I also want to point out you can also take your product template and combine it with your fee template. So with that, you can either create it from scratch, or if you already have a template, you can choose it. It will populate that information down. You can make any kind of changes. Maybe I don't want to show a contribution on this one and always have to fill it in. I could go ahead and do that. And then once you're done, I apply it to the template. So now anytime this template is used, not only will I have my basic default information, but I'll also have my fees tied to it. So it'll be a quick update modification, and then all my monthly costs. So that is one real quick way develop those product and fee templates and be able to use them through Edge. It'll be able to get you through so much quicker. And then for those of you who are an enterprise account, you might have some of these templates already built for you. And the way to be able to know is by going into a report. So I'm going to start new client, and I'm just going to pop down to the products and go directly to the product section. So you can see it starts off with my first product here. And you'll see if you're on an enterprise account, you might be able to pull these down. So let's go ahead and bring in that FHA product I just created. Let's put in that loan amount. Let's enter an interest rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to develop a template if you're on an enterprise account, or if you want to develop your product and fee templates this way, this is a great way of doing it as well. So what you would do is fill out your product, all your information here. I went ahead and pulled down a product template. I'm advancing my screen. You can see how my fees have already carried over. So I want to go into the closing cost details. And if you don't have them combined, that's fine. What you would want to do is make sure you go up and select a fee template. And a lot of companies also put test of state. So if you want to see all the fee templates created, just go ahead and not put a state in, just to give you an idea of what's available. And then come back and put in your state, and it will narrow down that list. But once you pull down a template, you could go ahead and make any kind of changes. So my appraisal is $475. My FHA product has no tax service fee. And you make any kind of, I'm going to remove my contribution, so I have to physically add that. And once I have all my templates and I've modified those fees that the corporate office has provided me, my branch does things just slightly different and might have a slightly different cost. So once you pull it down and make your modifications, save it as a template for you to use later. So go ahead and click on Save as Template and rename the template. So you could put something like an identifier so you know it's yours versus the enterprise accounts template, and just put in whatever you want to be able to call that, and identify it by state if you choose to, and you originate in multiple states. So once I press OK, you'll see now in my drop-down my new fee template. And this template will also be able to see in the in the settings area. Okay, Tim, you're talking about contributions. Okay, I'll show you how to do contributions just one moment. So once you've developed that template, pulled it down, make any kind of modifications, always remember save it as a template. Anytime you make some kind of change to a fee template, save it as a new one. If it's a product you might not do every couple months, so what? Get ahead of the game, save it as a template. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and apply to loan. So we have our fees as well as our monthly costs. So again, let's just develop those templates. Now, if you look at the very base, there's a save as template for products as well. So you can always carry down your product, add your fees to it, and develop your own template. So you're combining what corporate provided you into one template. So if I do save as template, and you can identify it in any way. Again, I like to be able to have some kind of identifier that just shows it's different from yours versus the enterprise account, just in case you name them the same. So I just put FHA product. Okay. If I add another product, just to show you, let's go ahead and take a look. Here's that FHA product that I went ahead and developed as a template. Let's put in that loan amount. In this particular case, when you save it on the screen, you've keyed information in. The interest rate does save. So you can always clean that up by going into settings and remove it, or go ahead and just update it here, so if you needed to. Advance our screen to the fees. We do have our fees. Let's go into our closing cost detail, because that was the template I saved, had all the fees combined with the product. What I'm going to do is remove all these fees. So that way I can address Tim's question about contributions, and we can actually see a clean screen. So down at the bottom right, you have an Add Fee, green button, Add Custom Fee. So first of all, I'm going to do an Add Fee and show you the one we have set up in our fee area. So in our drop-down, we do have a fee labeled Contribution. So if you select Contribution, we do have logic behind here. So with that, I should have just added let me just add a fee real quick. Let's just do an admin fee. That way you could just see the can't focus. So let's say we had $1,000. Just so we want to be able to put something up. It should be $9.95. But now you look at the bottom. I have borrowed paid fees $1,635. So I have $635, looks like, in prepaid interest. So maybe my reserves. So with that, I want to come into my contribution. So say it was a $500 contribution that the seller's going to make. I place in $500 in here, and you'll notice the total is dropped by $500, and now the lender is shown being picking up $500. You also could show that the seller's paying that amount. So you have either choice with that. So that's one way, and that's with the logic that we have built behind that particular label. Sometimes people want to be able to have their own description, and that's fine. You just have, there's no logic, but let me show you how that works. So if I click on Add Custom Fee, and I'm putting in the word lender contribution, and again, if you're using percentage on loan amount, sales price, default as APR or not. Now that is in my list that I can use for any products, any fees. But with this, there's no logic. So I would have to place this as a negative, and you'll see that it will offset my borrower fees and drop it by $500. And I have to leave it paid by borrower. And the reason for that, it needs to offset the borrower cost. So if you do want to use your own custom label, that's fine, but remember there's no logic. You have to enter as a negative and make sure you have it paid by the borrower. So I hope that answered your question, Tim, and we do have a video tutorial on contributions, so you'll be able to use that. So with it, we just went ahead and covered fee templates, product templates. We went ahead and did the Start Now button, as well as our widget. And I'm going to wrap it up because this had been a longer call. Remember, Friday mornings at 9 o'clock, we do have our introduction class where we really walk through all the pieces real slowly. We also review how to read an edge report as well as how to develop those templates. And tomorrow's call at 8 a.m. Pacific time, Jacob's going to review RateWatch, the mobile app. So make sure you're on that call to be able to see all the items you can do with RateWatch. And then at the noon course, we're going to go ahead and Lakeisha's going to show you how to build an annual mortgage review. And this is going to help you how to build potential refinance scenarios for past customers. So with that, everyone, thank you so much for attending our winter workshop. Remember, if you have any questions, please email us at support@mortgagecoach.com. And remember, you can always go to our coaching call archive and look at any of those winter workshops, and you will receive an email with all the calls on it, these 12 calls. Thank you again, everyone, and enjoy your day.